plan here. Little Claude code going on today. We are working on a Reddit ish social media type site. And I want to build this thing for everybody that's sick and tired of the way the social media works now. It's just too bogged down with garbage, and I wanted to build something that was a little bit more, let me get this thing closed down over here, a little bit more human than bots. We all know that X is full of bots. Instagram, Facebook, of course, I don't know how many people really use Facebook anymore. I know there's a ton of people that use it, but it's not the normal demographic that I'm going for. What we're building today is a way for people to interact and share their things, with each other. And what I want to do is build a social media site where it's gated and not many people can join up. So we have a really tight-knit community when we start, and then from that community we'll grow smaller. Smaller community grows into a bigger community. And what I really want to do is make sure that it's not built around likes and being popular, but it's more about communication and interacting with each other. So that being said, there are some things that I want to put in place before we go any further, because I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. The business model is very simple. You can get in for free. Everybody can check everything out, right? You don't need an account. But if you want to interact, you have to start an account. If you want to start your own subreddit, like your sub-community, then you need to sign up for a different tier. That's all I'm going to say right now. There's not I don't have a pricing plan or anything, but there is going to be like a pay-to-play kind of thing. And I'm working on that business model as we go. And I'm building it out with a very broad skeleton to begin with, because I think building on this broad skeleton, you can sort of just have that as a framework for everything. And then when you move forward with it in the future, 6 months down the line, 7 months down the line, if you want to start a new one, if you want to spin a new one up and you want certain features, and I kind of want to make this not really open source for everybody, but I want to make sure that everybody has access to certain things. So the way I want to put it together is building this in the open, of course, so you and I can share this information. And I also want you to give me ideas. I think it's important for us to be working together and building this thing together. So right now, I want to build part of it with you. Right now, I just hooked up the database, and the next phase is phase 3. So let's go through phase 3. And we have all the MD files, right? So like in the first round, started with ideation. Second round of these videos, I started building MD files and started building out the whole schema, the whole structure of everything, whole foundation. So that's in the second video, and this is the third video right now. So we're going to go into phase 3, and this is going to be an interesting one, because I think what is going to happen in phase 3 is that we are all going to start seeing different parts of this come into play. It's all going to start coming to shape. And I do believe that in the near future, I should say, that I would love to start opening signups for this. And I'm kind of torn between different types of signups. People already have their social media profiles. They have their Google profile, they have their X profile, they have their Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Also have your phone number. That might be a good one to start with. Everybody has a phone, right? All you do is put in your phone number, send a link to your phone, tap it, and you're done. You're in. And this is a web app to begin with, so it's a good way to start it. You know, and I want to ideate with the audience as well, and with the users as well. So I want everybody that wants to get in early to come and test. And I'm going to open it up to the public. The first X amount of users get the sweetheart deal. You get, I don't know, you might be able to, I might open up certain subcategories to certain people to test out. So if you want in early, that's going to be the way to go. So I'm working on that right now. And I'm hoping that in probably, I know it's Wednesday now, so maybe Friday, I'll have something there. So you'll be able to sign up. But if you want more information about this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because like I don't like to beg for subscribes, but it is really the best way for you to keep up to date with this stuff. Of course, Claude is doing phase 3 right now, and I would pull up the MD files and show you what's going on. But I just want to keep this as clean as possible so we can all see what's going on together. And I want to make sure that, you know, you guys are here for it and you get all the information straight up. So Claude is thinking right now, it's going through phase 3. So what I want to build today is the foundation for a sign up page, basically. So we're connected to the database. People can sign up. There will be the ability to post, and we're going to post text only first, and have the ability to create sub-communities within our structure. And I haven't announced the name yet. I haven't done anything like that yet. I want to build it out so people can come in and check it out. So I do have a domain. I do have the name. Everything's all good. And I have it connected to, you know, to the back end. So let's just see what's going on here. And with Claude today, this is the security critical phase, and I have full context of the schema. The work is isolated to one new migration file, plus a verification script. So I'll design it directly rather than fan out agents, keeping with this project's cost consciousness. Let me reread the 2 files. All right, let's see. RLS policy, there we go. So it opened up the RLS policies. SQL, let's see, let me just read this over. Phase 2 created all 11 anti-tables. We call it anti, this is like the code name for this thing because it's anti-social media. Anti-social. Grants, RLS filter rows, but a role still needs table privileges. Okay, helper functions, fully qualified. Anti has active membership, table community. Okay, target community, sorry. User ID, auth UID, memberships, scoped. Okay, anti-target community. Enable RLS policies per table, all scoped to authenticated. Memberships. Okay, so this looks okay. So they're just going to go the free account read path. Okay, preview RPC. So that's like the first method that you get to do. You get to go through, sign up to your phone or whatever. I'm thinking of going with phone here. It's the easiest. Everybody has a phone, and that's all you need, really. No authentication at that point other than your phone number. And that like weeds out a lot of bots too, because bots don't have phones. They might have like a, you know, like a ghost phone, but it weeds out a lot of, you know, emails or like social signups and stuff like that too. Keep it very basic. So that's the account read path. All right. I mean, it looks all good. Free account, no membership, direct, select active member, active paid member. It's gonna be paid, expired member. Script asserts each expectation and prints pass fail per check. No app UI code, no Stripe, out of scope. No changes to 001 append only. No force RLS. No anon role access of any kind. All right, that sounds good. Claude proposed a plan. Let's accept this plan and let's go forward with this. I think there's going to be some real headway here today, and I think in the next, you know, 2 days or so, it's going to be out in the public, out in the open, and we'll be able to build something that everybody can share. So, NI keys deprecated, snappy, compiled MD. So basically, the anon keys from before, Claude has this thing where it thinks that your codes for your database, for your Vercel database, should be an anon key, but it's not that anymore. It's a secret key. That changed a little while ago. Those are deprecated, the anon keys. So your secret key, that's the way to go. I had to tell it, actually. It was like, what's your anon key? And I was like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, Claude? Like, you should know this. You should know better. And I've told it so many times. And I actually told it before we were building this thing that we needed not anon keys, but we needed secret keys. Now the verification script, the 5 checks under simulated authenticated identities, all inside a transaction that rolls back so nothing persists in your shared DB. All right, so it pushed that DB, the 0002 RLS SQL database. It's applied. And this is the best. I mean, if you want to save a little bit of money, you can have Claude build the database for you. Like have it just make the whole database for you. And then basically you copy and paste it into Vercel. And that's cool. That works. But it takes a lot of time. And if there are like 10 different databases, different SQL files, it's better and easier, saves you time to just push it up with Claude Code. We've already been building for 7.5 minutes now, 7.2 thousand tokens. Check one pass clearly. The crash in a Postgres state detail. Expect RLS denial aborts the whole transaction until rolled back to the next statement errors. Fix its save points around each statement that may raise. Let me correct the harness and rerun. All right, good job, Claude, catching that one. And I think we're pretty good at this point for this part of this phase of the project here. Let's take a look, see here. What's it doing? It's still thinking 8 minutes, 19 seconds. I'm going to start doing a little bit more with the YouTube channel as well. So I've been working on that. So everything passed. Let's see here. Free account direct select on posts. All right, result is a check. Free account can't pull the full archive. 7 posts exist. Direct query still 0. Active paid member sees all 7. So by the way, I'm going to seed some of these communities when we start. I want to have some content before anybody else gets in. So I'm going to be seeding some of this stuff, and it's just going to be like either news, or I'm going to bring up topics. There's going to be programmers. So what I think I'm going to do is take some of the, the most important categories from any social media. Those like news, even though I don't really like news because it's so inflammatory and people get so mad about it, but people like it. News, technology. Eventually we'll have pictures and video and things like that. And I'm not going to make it a basic social media site like everybody else. You'll see what I mean in a little bit, but I think there's going to be some impressive things that you'd be interested in. Let me just say that. And I haven't divulged any of that stuff yet because the way I want to do this is completely different than what anybody's done. And I'm not just saying that to be like, ooh, just the hype man, because I think that's stupid. I think that would be stupid, but it'll be similar to what you're used to, but the features will be different. That's all I can say. Okay, so that's all I can say. But it's going to be more real time than regular social media. So not just comments, not just posts. There'll be real time interactions, some chat, some voice, things like that. So think of like Discord and Reddit had a baby, but like a nice baby, Active member or paid member sees all 7 insert. Okay, expired access expires. Restore access expires at full redirect. Okay, critical 1 is check 2. Free account can't pull. Authority cannot read post rows through a direct table query. It only gets the capped sample via get community preview. So also what I want to do is I want to put some checks in place for this too, where when we build this, I want there to be a way for there to be a cache, right? And like not a crazy cache, because I just want to save money on the hosting, basically. Phase 1 scaffold, yes. All verified live where we are. Phase 4 Stripe webhook, the stop gate. So here we go. So we are at a stopping point now because Stripe needs to be hooked up so people can buy in, right? Stripe price objects for the 3 tiers, monthly above the fee cliff, annual capped limit, or lifetime founder pass. Pricing numbers are still a to-do placeholder I'll need from you. So I want to build this so it's very affordable for the first X amount of users. I want some people to come in and test it, but I don't want to charge people a lot of money to do that, because I don't want to be like, hey, buy the year pass for $100. You can if you want to, that would be great. But if you build it out, if I build it out enough so people can see what's going on and have a really cool experience, then I think that's when I can start having some real revenue come in. Checkout session root, the webhook. So I think the founders are going to be something like $5 or something like that, just so you can get in. And the first X amount of users will be $5. It needs your Stripe test keys, all empty and local right now. And the pricing number is 2 housekeeping notes before you decide. You can now rotate the DB password, then the transcript, and reach to the other apps in the shared project. We're done with migration pushes for the foundation. The expose anti-schema step in the Supabase dashboard is still pending. Not needed for phase 4's webhooks. It uses the secret key admin client, but needed before any UI reads. Okay, want to start phase 4? If so, send the Stripe test keys and your pricing, or tell me to stub them as to-dos and build the code structure first. So what I want to do is, so founder pass, let's see. I want the founder pass to be $4.99 per month. I also want to keep it there and only the founders pass for $4.99 per month for the foreseeable future until we get 200 users. Now do some math and tell me a yearly price that would make sense for that. And then let's build this out and stub the Stripe as a to-do for later, but wire it up so we can just put in the keys later tonight. I want to start building as soon as possible. All right, so now Claude knows exactly what's going on. If you're part of this and you see something that you like, make sure to let me know. If you see something that just doesn't make any sense, just let me know too. I want to know what you think about all this stuff. Make sure to hit the subscribe button too, because as I'm building this, I really want to see what you think about this, because I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be exciting. And I think it'll change the way that people use social media, because it won't be social media anymore. Everyone's saying social media is dead. Guess where everybody buys everything? It's all on Instagram. It's all on TikTok shop. It's all on YouTube, right? So social media is alive and well. It's just different than it used to be. And there is a new format that we can use in order to do something very interesting and cool. And I'm building that right now. You can be part of this. So, I'll release that in the future. I'll release more information about this in the future. But I want to start building with Claude and get those DBs, figured out the pricing. $4.99 for founders, right? You're part of the Founders Club, you're part of the Founders Market, and you'll be able to, let me just say it like this. In the future, I want users to be able to make money too. That's all I gotta say. And there's a business plan around that. And I think there will be some interesting things for everybody to do in the next 3 months going forward. So tomorrow we're gonna do some more live coding. We're gonna do some more live coding every day this week, hopefully. And we will also have some more ideation going through. We're going to have some build process of Claude from top to bottom. You're seeing this in live, in live detail here with me hooking this up and getting all the databases hooked up today, which is really important. We needed the databases today because if we didn't have the database, everything would have been kaputsk and we would not have been able to hook up anything else, including the UI, which is going to be coming in the next build, the next part of the build. And I'm going to start showing off some of the UI in the next stream. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. Claude is still thinking. It's almost done thinking. It took about 3 minutes to think. And I think 4.8 Opus thinks a lot. It's on medium right now. I put it on medium, but it still thinks a lot. It's 3 minutes in. And with Fable, you could just blast through it on medium. This would have been done in 45 seconds. But I do believe Opus 4.8 is one of those, the models that it thinks a lot and it reacts a lot to what you have to say. So I had to tell Claude, hey, tone it down a little bit. I don't want all the, I don't want you to answer me like a person. I just need the schematics. I need some bullet points. Give me everything that's like, you just need that. And that's it. I just want that. I just want the basics because I don't need to spend time doing, talking to like a Claude bot. So if it needs to spin up a bunch of bots, I want it to, but it's almost done thinking at 4 minutes, man. It takes a lot of time. Wow. A lot of time, 4.8 medium. And that's one thing that when I was using Fable, okay. Whew. Okay, so let's see. Good, let me do the math first, then build. Annual price recommendations, $49.99 per year. That makes sense. Working for a $4.99 monthly founder pass. Stripe fees, net to you $54.54 per year if they stay all 12 months. If you do monthly, it's like $55 basically. In annual, it's less than 50. So you save, you have a pretty decent savings if you want to do the whole year. The annual member nets you about $6 per year, less assuring the monthly member never churns. But you get the cash. Of course, we're building the business as we do this too. But you get the cash on day one, dodge 11 of the 12 fixed 30% fees, and remove churn risk. That's exactly the front-loaded runway the build wants. So most founders, if they're going to charge for a service, they do a yearly pass in some fashion, and they get money up front so they can continue building. That's what they do. That's what everybody does. If you're a founder, if you're a builder, that's what everybody does. It's like, dude, if I get 10 $4.99 members, I get $50. But if I get one yearly pass member, I get $50. So if I get, it just, the math is the same over time. You make about the same amount of money, but you do have that money, you have a ramp to keep going if you build that annual plan in there. So $4.99 stays put until 200 members, and for a server side, all amounts live in one config file, so changing the annual number later is a one-line edit. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Now building phase 4 with Stripe stubbed but fully wired. Starting with schema, Stripe needs a couple of columns to map webhooks back to members and config. Now the checkout route. So it's done. Checkout webhook, the core of phase 4. The sole writer of access expires at routes.ts. Now the billing portal route, then end vars I know the end bars for both files. Perfect. Now push the schema migration and type check build. Let's see if this works out, because this is all for the database. So this is all database work today. And it's kind of like, if you're into databases, this is really interesting and fun. But if you're into just seeing a project and a product come to life, like this is the base of all big projects. It's the database. And there's going to be, let's just say there's going to be a way for people to communicate that is not in typical social media. And there will be ways for you to monetize your own content using this platform. So if you want to start a business, you can do it with your own content. Now, that being said, there are going to be ways for you to build a following on the platform as well, but there's no like dopamine hits. So those things that are like, oh man, I just posted and I have 20,000 likes or whatever. Like there's not that dopamine hit on this platform. Followers matter a lot on this platform. And since everyone is gated to be a real human, this is so important for you if you're a content creator. So let's see where this build passes all 3 routes compiled as dynamic server routes. Let me confirm the migration columns and indexes actually landed. Verify stripe indexes, columns, indexes, and grants. Let me record the pricing decision and progress. Then I'm at the stop gate. Cool. Okay, stop gate, here we go. So phase 4 is built and we are now at the mandatory stop gate. We built this in the MD files. For the contract, I'm reporting the foundation and waiting for your review before any feed UI. I mean, okay, so let's see. Straightforward webhooks, code complete, stubbed, builds clean. What I could not verify yet, needs your keys tonight. Okay, so that's just the Stripe stuff. Exposing anti-schema and Supabase. Create the V1 community row. Not exists yet, so checkout currently 404s on community lookup. It needs an owner profile, which needs a real signed up user phase 7. You can add a small seed path for this when you're ready. Rotate the DB password. It's in the transcript. It's not in the transcript. I don't know why it's saying that. We're at the post phase 4 stop gate. How do you want to proceed? Approve. Sounds good. The V1 community row doesn't exist yet. Checkout needs it. How should I get it created? Hold test Stripe first. We're not going to test Stripe yet because no one's going to sign up. You've revered the foundation. I begin phase 5. Design tokens plus app shell. Live Stripe test can happen in parallel when you add the keys. Okay. Seed migration. Now I add a migration that creates an operator profile, the anti-community. So checkout works end to end tonight. Inserts a placeholder operator into auth.users. Defer to onboarding. Wait until phase 7 when a real operator account signs up. Then attach the community to it. Checkout stays inert until then. Let's do that. It's going to create an operator for us so we can, it'll set something up automatically. So it might, then I'm going to do something actually, which might be good for me to do. I'm going to do a scene here. Let me do the studio mode here. Let me do a scene because I'm going to do a different scene, which will be video capture device there, webcam. There we go. Oh, not that one. Add a scene, scene 2. So let me just add a video capture device, webcam. Because what I'm doing now is building something out so I can have just a mic and aux. There we go. Just so I can have a webcam. Switch it over to the layout so you can see what's actually happening. And it's not going to show the build, probably, but we'll see. Let's see what's going on here. This is really interesting to see this happening. And since it's all structured and all framed up, everything was built before it was built. Like the files in my head have all been built, and I just basically had to tell Claude, build all this stuff for me, man. So 14 minutes today, there was 20 minutes yesterday or the day before, 20 minutes before that. So altogether, I've been doing this for about 60 minutes. Maybe maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on, I've been ideating it for a while. Now wire it into the page, creating. But I think there's one thing that you're going to find really interesting about this, and I can't wait to show you, because I think it's going to be really, really fun for everybody involved. And I think the build out is just, it's not right for most of these apps. All right, so let's see what this comes up with here. There's a blank slate started. It's going to build out a look inside anti. All right, here we go. This is where the preview server stopped. Let me stop the dev server. I want to see it again. Come on, Claude. You can't just the shell renders cleanly. The Discord structured layout is there. Coral community badge in the rail. Sections column. Dude, I want to see this again. It did it for like 2 seconds. All right. Let's see. Speed surface is number 6. So we got a real brief, very, very brief. It was very close to what I envisioned it. We might have to do some tweaks, but we'll see what happens. All right, but that's for the next